All right, so today we're gonna dive into something really different. It's about this comedian, Sean Morley,
Right.
and his plan to get his jokes, well, not just his jokes, but jokes displayed on, get this, Nottingham trams.
Interesting.
Trams, like public transportation.
Okay, so like not your typical comedy club setting.
Definitely not. More like, you're on your morning commute and bam, hit with a joke.
Makes you wonder what he's hoping to achieve with that. It's not like those little puns you see in a newspaper.
Right.
Morley's actually teamed up with the Nottingham Comedy Festival on this.
Oh.
And Nottingham Trams themselves, it's a whole project.
And he said
Yeah.
that he wants his jokes to be powerful enough to, quote, destroy the ego of the reader.
Really?
Yeah, destroy the ego. That's what we're working with here.
That's pretty ambitious for a one-liner you might catch on your way to work, isn't it?
It is. It really makes you wonder about, what kind of comedy he's going for here. It doesn't sound exactly lighthearted, you know what I mean?
No, definitely not. It seems like he's aiming for something more, thought-provoking.
Yeah.
Maybe even a bit, dare I say, jarring. And it's interesting you mention that because he's actually mentioned Antonin Artaud and his whole theater of cruelty concept as inspiration.
Theater of cruelty.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds a little intense for my Monday morning commute. What did Morley mean by that? And how does that even work with, jokes on trams?
So Artaud, he believed that theater, it shouldn't be this passive thing. He thought it should be a visceral experience.
Yeah.
Something that really shakes the audience up, makes them feel something deeply.
So not exactly a lighthearted musical then.
No, not quite.
So is Morley trying to give people like an existential crisis on their way to work?
Well, I don't know about that.
Okay.
Keep in mind, we're still talking about comedy here. It's more likely that Morley's using the idea of cruelty to kind of play with the boundaries of comedy, Like, how far can you push a joke, especially when it's in such an unexpected place?
That's a good point. Imagine you're on the tram, you're stressed about work, and suddenly you see this joke that makes you both laugh and question your entire life.
Exactly.
And then you had to get off at your stop.
It's that unexpected combination that makes this project really interesting, but it also makes you wonder how people will react to it.
Right. Like, will they get it? Will they be amused or just confused? Or even annoyed?
Yeah, it's hard to say because it's not like a comedy show where the audience is expecting to be entertained.
Right.
These jokes, you just encounter them.
There you are.
Exactly.
It's so different. Okay, so we've got theater of cruelty, we've got jokes, and we've got trams.
Yeah.
What about the crowdsourcing? How does that play into all this?
Oh, that's a good point. That's actually a really fascinating aspect of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Because the jokes aren't all coming from Morley himself.
Right.
They're from all sorts of people. So it adds this element of, well, you really don't know what you're going to get.
It's true. He's basically created like a collaborative comedy experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. It makes you wonder how he's going to adapt these crowdsourced jokes to, work on a tram. There are limitations to what you can do in a public space.
Absolutely. And a joke that might be hilarious on stage might not work at all on a tram.
And vice versa.
Exactly.
It's like he's questioning where comedy belongs.
It really is.
Like, does it have to be in a club or on a stage? Or could it be, on your morning commute?
That's a really interesting question, and it's something that Morley's project really makes you think about, isn't it? Like, does the success of this whole thing depend on the jokes themselves?
Right.
Or on the fact that they're on trams?
Or both.
Or both, yeah.
Well, yeah.
What do you think?
I think we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for our deep dive today. Thanks for listening. All right, so today we're going to dive into something really different. It's about this comedian, Sean Morley.
Right.
And his plan to get his jokes, well, not just his jokes, but jokes displayed on, get this, Nottingham trams.
Interesting.
It's trams, like public transportation.
Okay, so like not your typical comedy club setting.
Definitely not. More like, you're on your morning commute and bam, hit with a joke.
Makes you wonder what he's hoping to achieve with that. It's not like those little puns you see in a newspaper.
Right.
Morley's actually teamed up with the Nottingham Comedy Festival on this.
Oh.
And Nottingham Trams themselves, it's a whole project.
And he said that he wants his jokes to be powerful enough to, quote, destroy the ego of the reader.
Really?
Yeah, destroy the ego. That's what we're working with here.
That's pretty ambitious for a one-liner you might catch on your way to work, isn't it?
It is. It really makes you wonder about, what kind of comedy he's going for here. It doesn't sound exactly lighthearted, you know what I mean?
No, definitely not. It seems like he's aiming for something more, thought-provoking.
Yeah.
Maybe even a bit, dare I say, jarring. And it's interesting you mention that because he's actually mentioned Antonin Artaud and his whole theater of cruelty concept as inspiration.
Theater of cruelty.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds a little intense for my Monday morning commute. What did Morley mean by that? And how does that even work with, jokes on trams?
So Artaud, he believed that theater, it shouldn't be this passive thing. He thought it should be a visceral experience.
Yeah.
Something that really shakes the audience up, makes them feel something deeply.
So not exactly a lighthearted musical then?
No, not quite.
So is Morley trying to give people like an existential crisis on their way to work?
Well, I don't know about that.
Okay.
Keep in mind, we're still talking about comedy here. It's more likely that Morley's using the idea of cruelty to kind of play with the boundaries of comedy, Like, how far can you push a joke, especially when it's in such an unexpected place?
That's a good point. Imagine you're on the tram, you're stressed about work, and suddenly you see this joke that makes you both laugh and question your entire life.
Exactly.
And then you had to get off at your stop.
It's that unexpected combination that makes this project really interesting, but it also makes you wonder how people will react to it.
Right. Like, will they get it? Will they be amused or just confused? Or even annoyed?
Yeah, it's hard to say because it's not like a comedy show where the audience is expecting to be entertained.
Right.
These jokes, you just encounter them.
There you are.
Exactly.
It's so different. Okay, so we've got theater of cruelty, we've got jokes, and we've got trams.
Yeah.
What about the crowdsourcing? How does that play into all this?
Oh, that's a good point. That's actually a really fascinating aspect of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Because the jokes aren't all coming from Morley himself.
Right.
They're from all sorts of people. So it adds this element of, well, you really don't know what you're going to get.
It's true. He's basically created like a collaborative comedy experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. It makes you wonder how he's going to adapt these crowdsourced jokes to, work on a tram. There are limitations to what you can do in a public space.
Absolutely. And a joke that might be hilarious on stage.
0 at 7. Fuck!
Great!
Yes! All what I get from eating these sweets is the bland taste of jelly no flavours. I feel like I'm some sort of video game pedant. But Kirby doesn't suck illnesses, right? Kirby sucks powers. Of a 44-pound fish. I think this one will solve it.
I've done extremely well considering my severe
Hello, welcome. Sit down, get comfortable. I'm Sean Morley. And that's Sean Morley. How are you doing? Are you well? Are you kind? I'm here in Knaresborough in Mother Shipton's cave. Honestly, sort of a surrounding, an environment that's... Every time I flip to it, I think, this is a bit busy. But here we are. Here I am, new chat, because I've been bullied. I've been bullied relentlessly. And I'm cold. And I'm a bit too cold for the other chat. I'm kind of ready for a great stream. Well, strap straight in. Please put your arm restraints in place. And please weight yourself down onto a chair of your choice. Because we are live. This is a stream. And I overflow with gratitude that you would ever dare to come here. Thank you all for tuning in. this Monday afternoon. And I'd like to give a special thank you to the Pubic Whisperer, B&M Bandit, the Peppery Slop, Kate M. Kearns. Mods, can we please ban Catbox Man? Flatter the Rory Kinnett. Where did this come? The Illuminated Disneyland Andy Plem. Let's fucking go. It's Dr. Plem. I've met him and he's underwhelming. It's a Gregorous. The Defined Bra, Lemon Poodle. The Horse Thought, Pepsi Scrolls. The Brazen Hard-Boiled Eggs, Adamantium. The Dwarven Peacock, Big Papa Peter. The Crunchy Abstraction, Dedicated Lurking, 9 to 5. The Sheepish Besite. What's Besite? Johnny Knees. A bonus ball point to Mighty Fighty Shushbugs. The Bunged Up Keycard, Des Lettuce. And introducing Funky Mr. Chicken, Graceless Jim Reception. Male Bear Pope, the Burnzoid. The Colossal Rat, Tip Foster. And that's everyone. I hope you are feeling nice. I hope you are feeling good. If you did not hear the thorough explanation provided by my AI-generated podcast co-hosts, I am going to be working in conjunction with Nottingham Comedy Festival to try and get some jokes on the trams. As many of you may know, the Glang Show's going on a tour in November, and one of the dates that it's registered with is Nottingham Comedy Festival vis-a-vis Club Wormhole, run by our very own Rosanna. It's going to be appearing there on Saturday, the 9th of November. And because I'm on the mailing lists for the central marketing team, I have been told about a marketing opportunity where jokes can be submitted to the Nottingham Trams and they will accept just the form of an image. And that's very exciting. I'm going to assume they accept standard like HD resolution images. So I'm going to be making 1920 by 1080p images. And I'd like to have 2 or 3 to send off by the end of this stream. And then inevitably, I think none of them will be accepted. I'd like us to, canonically, our attempt is to make jokes that will go on the trams. I don't think we'll achieve that. But I think we'll make jokes that someone from Nottingham Trams will look at and go, what? Was this meant to be sent to us? But that is the plan. We are going to make some jokes to send to Nottingham Trams to put on their carriages. Whether or not we succeed depends on whether or not we can rein it in. We can rein in our most mischievous and Dadaist impulses and just make something nice, something that the public can enjoy, that appeals to a broad ranges of senses of humour, sensibilities, aesthetic tastes. And of course, part of those sensibilities and part of those aesthetic tastes is to make something absolutely nonsensical that maybe a Zoomer could enjoy while briefly looking up from their phone. And that's the brief. You're telling us to be sensible? No, I'm not. I'm just giving the lay of the land. I'm sketching out the possibility space with a realist's eyeball. I'm coming at this with someone who knows what's going to happen. I am Cassandra. I do not make value judgments. I'm just saying this city will sink into the sea. Make of that what you will. Impact font shrimp nibblers are back. Bang, that's done. Well, I'd like to. I don't want to overly structure things. But I do think we should try to pin our thoughts into the classic realm of joke writing. I've given us a Nottingham Tram here for reference to help our words start to mind, and 3 general boundaries which we could delineate our thoughts into. If you could herd the cats of your mind into these playpens, there's the homophone nook. Now, obviously, our designs and ambitions can vault much higher than this, but people do like, and jokes tend to generate around words that sound similar to other words. And I don't think we need to be so conceited as to think we're better than that. I don't think we need to look at the world of puns. As many of you either know explicitly because I've told you in a private chat or have picked up from my general demeanor, I have no time for puns. I do not like puns. I have no time for them. I have no time for the re-emergence of puns in this like post-ironic dad joke culture. I don't like puns. When I hear a pun, I feel like my lifespan has been reduced. I feel like my heart has skipped a beat and I'm closer to the grave. My blood runs cold and my mind turns into a grey breeze block. Nevertheless, I know that that's probably the closest thing we can do to get on the trams, and I'm willing to commit high treason against my own artistic sensibilities if I can get a meme on the trams. Yes, nevertheless, and then 5 commas, and then the rest of the stream. But why do you not like them? I think overexposure is the first thing. Overexposure. When I was younger and I was a child, I didn't have an innate dislike of puns. I think bouncing ping-pongishly across the northern open mic scene for a long period during my overlong elephant-lengthed gestation period as a comic and performer, I was exposed to so many puns and so many try something that fails 7 times and never learn anything from it acts who would just come in and sort of list off some puns they've written in their break at work. And I associate them with a kind of involuntary tensing of muscles. And also, I think no one really, not to go back to Artaud and Artaud's Theatre of Cruelty, but, you know, a very good comedy show, you should laugh from a feeling of surprise and a feeling of something visceral, something a little bit's caught you. You need to be sort of caught and confused, baffled, surprised. And puns, I think, very rarely can do that unless they're in the hands of someone incredibly adept. I do know some people that have done very, very good wordplay. I'm not above all wordplay. Wordplay is good. But when I think of puns, I think of the dreg heap. I think of the mass grave of the Northern comedy open micers. That's fair. I think I'm just indifferent to them. Well, I yearn for a world where I become indifferent to them as well. I remember as well, the other thing I used to really not like was just jokes about like poo and piss and cum. And through streaming, I have been forced to overcome that because otherwise I'd grow to despise some of my most active viewers. Am I intentionally making moves in the Dwarf Fortress category? No, just another mistake. But I do like that you phrase this sort of corrective little question in I've just come to mind. Surely you doing this obvious error on purpose? Very polite, very diplomatic, very good. Can we make a moratorium of finding a phrase within a longer sentence that I've said to put in the more phrase? Because clearly, if you're happy just to excise words from what I've said, I'm always going to come off as a fool. It's just hard to be sure with you, Sean. Dragon Garland, I completely understand. I am not capable nor willing to provide any greater navigation for whether or not I'm being sincere. If it helps you at all, and this might be the only codex I can give you that really might unlock the whole thing, is I don't bother to think myself whether or not I'm being sincere before I click launch on a thought that I've put in the chamber of my brain's gun. Isn't that the point of more phrase? No, it was to decontextualize entire utterances that I actually said. If you're finding utterances within longer sentences, you're playing a crossword or something. Thank you so much, Perfume Solicitation. I'm glad someone here's got a good head on their shoulders. But I'm afraid I only stream to... Where have you gone? Perfumed... You're not even here. I can't even ban you. I have to write out your name one by one. Perfume Solicitation. Oh, it's because they're already banned. That's why that's why I couldn't ban them. Great. I'm glad we've got a hot off the trigger finger. Gun's not loaded. Mug tree. I think my gun's overloaded. What about everyone on this Tram 1 table type? Now, let's go back to our containers here. There's the homophone nook. And I've just said we should, we don't have to revolting ambition beyond just doing some punts. There's also don't you hate it when, right? A slice of life. A sliced slice. And if you really want to play the Joker, right? If you really want to show the world you're a bit sick and twisted, we can think about socio-cultural boundaries to lightly press against. And may I just be so bold as to get the ball rolling with snot? People don't like it, might not want to hear about it. So that's just, you could lightly press against people's prejudices against hearing about snot. Hate snot, yeah. Who doesn't? I have to say, some of you probably already twigged this already just to look at me, but I'm a big sneezer. I'm a big serial sneezer. I can get 7 sneezes off before I've done my morning piss. Love snot. Okay, so we've got an equilibrium. Snottingham, that's good. Bogey humour is worse than shit humour. I think the amount of because when I was starting comedy, I was like, what, 20 something, right? Your early 20s, out of university, wanted to do loads of gigs. And the amount of people who were like 38-year-old men who did poems about doing a shit. I'm not joking. I must have seen 6 full, po-face, slow-moving performance poems about doing a poo as a man who's getting older. Hello, Albrock. Don't you hate it when you're going to spread some jam on your toast and all you've got is 20 cars honking their horns? I see where you're coming from, but we should think just about the components. Like, let's just get started on words that sound the same. It's relatable, Sean. Apparently people shit. Well, I don't think, look, I'm going to be a real realist now. I don't think the trams are going to let us do anything about shit. I don't think the trams are going to allow reference to shit within their carriages. Snot, I think, is close to we're going. Snot is PG-13. Shit is when you have to go to a special store and ask for the tape behind the counter. Why is snot sociocultural? Because people don't want to hear about it. And so when you're putting things about snot in their eye line, you've pushed the envelope, haven't you? The tram people might get upset about you encouraging putting snot. Yeah, you're right. Post COVID-19, you can't talk about snot, can you? You could talk about face masks, though. You could talk about COVID-19. Facebook? I meant face masks. Talk about austerity. That's killed more people than COVID-19. Killed more people than the Iraq War. Bovril? Is that a sociocultural boundary? Turning an hand block? Too niche. Too niche. Look, I think people are getting things. What words that relate to trams? What are words that relate to here? Let's just start real nice and simple. Tram words. Okay, let's get our vocabulary going. Rail, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful tram word. Yeah. What about rolling stock? That's good. Crash, yeah, that's good. Yeah. USB chargers not available. There's no USB charging on a tram, is there? Fake train. To put not a train. Yeah. This show is off the rails. We're just looking for vocabulary, Funky. Trolley, yeah. Pantograph. What's a pantograph? I'll take it as read that that's relevant. Yeah, we could try this. Thank you very much. Lovely query. WXLS5NG293.viewers.net. That's good. A pantograph is the thing that connects the tram to the overhead wire. That's beautiful, Grugger Smith. Why do you know that? And you all know it. The Burnzoid knows it. Pepsi knows it. Can I put electrocution? Hello, Harry. We're just making some jokes for the Nottingham trams. We're just getting some tram words down. I'm a civil engineer. That's so exciting. Do you want a more point? That's worth a more point, isn't it, being a civil engineer? Shunting, yeah. And also, shunting, that's a little bit rude, isn't it? Sounds rude. May I suggest a warning on the tram that says this tram is absolutely going to crash? Look out. Yeah, that's good, yeah. I'll put it in this. The tram might crash and you might get hurt. I don't think a tram crash really is going to kill that many people. Oh, apart from the people it crashes into. Electrocution, yeah, that's good. Yeah. That's a socio-cultural boundary, thinking that the trams might kill you. It's not something people want, is it? Which actor voices the tram in Nottingham? Oh, where's spiffing when you need them? Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, sure. Lady in the Tram, yeah. I like Lady in the Tram. I think that's quite good. I'm going to put that in its own little note over here. Lady in the Tram. That's something to chew on, isn't it? 7-7 didn't happen on trams, yeah. Because it's hard to die on a tram. How many tram deaths have you ever heard of? Train deaths. The list as long as your arm. Albert's encouraging people to be grumpy. Metrosexual sort of dropped off as a term. Me and Jambud have been watching Lost, and I think metrosexual got a brief allusion there, which lets you know exactly how old that term is. Wendy Smith from Prefab Sprout does the voiceover. Wendy Smith from Prefab Sprout. Tram fucking. I'm not going to put tram. Well, I mean, no, we're not, because if I can't put shit down, the act of fucking a tram, I think, is you know, these aren't boundaries set by me. It's a private tram company, but also it's a nominally Christian country. So sort of sex for pleasure is out, essentially. We could do setups. We could also just think of transgender. That's good. Transgender, yeah. Setups. I like this. Setups. Sets-ups. I've written instead. Why was the tram driver depressed? Because they'd had a lot of tramadol. Is that what they want? Is that what we're putting? Because they overdosed on tramadol? Is that... Post-traumatic stress disorder? Why was the ex-tram driver depressed? Although actually, depression is one of the symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. So this sort of helps as a little NHS guideline as well. Unsatisfying home life. Yeah, it's not really about trams, or is it, PD? Lady in the Tram. Why? Why did the couple bring spaghetti on the tram? Answer, Lady in the Tram. There we go. That's sort of incoherent. That's strong, isn't it? Yeah, Lady in the Tram. Oh, we're writing jokes that might be appearing on the Nottingham tram line. I'm doing a show with Nottingham Comedy Festival, and they're doing marketing using the trams, and they've invited anyone who's participating to submit jokes to which they in turn will submit to Nottingham Tram. So we're going to try and write some. Do trams share road space there? I think so, yes. I think it's a mix. I think there's some dedicated tram line in the city centre, but a lot of it, I think, is just tram lines on public roads. Yeah, and you're not allowed to say tram fucking. I'm probably just going to put, if it helps, I'm just going to write just like excluded terms and thoughts. Excluded terms and thoughts. And here I'll put shit and I'll put sex with trams, because it seems like I have to sort of make this point over and over again. These are things we're not going to be trying to include because they're not going to be allowed on the trams. Why are trams religious? They get their power from above. Why are trams religious? They get their power from above. Is that the most concise way you can do that? This is good. Is that something? What about sex on trams? Yeah, I'm just going to go down to sex. Well, no, we can actually allude to sex. Probably in a kind of like Kenneth Williams hanky-panky style way, but we can't be like, I want to stick my dick in a tram. But you can probably, with a little bit of How's Your Father innuendo, get a little bit of sex reference. But you can't be like, I want to, shunt a tram. Sex with trams. Sex. Honestly, I think maybe if you hanky-pankied it enough, you could get sex on trams. But I think sex with trams is just wall-to-wall, not on. No, matey, come on. I said it was part of a longer sentence. There needs to be a new rule with the more phrase. I do think things have been taken too much out of context now. I think if we were to look through the more phrase, it really would make me seem like an absolutely gurning prince of flies. Why was the tram driver happy to be back from holiday? Because they were back on tracks. Why was the tram driver happy to be back from holiday? Because their life was back on track. And then I put an S in brackets there because otherwise it doesn't make enough sense. What if you emphasise the carrying capacity by mentioning how many dicks and willies could fit inside this tram? What do you mean, like in the carriage? Like how many male people could get in? Or are we talking about if you were to chop everyone's flaccid dick off and then pile them up like the interior of a tram is a mass grave for amputated members? And then, yeah, sure, you could get 1,000 plus on. But who's that? That's not a selling point to anyone. If we wanted to do a political one, we could do why are trams better than cars? And then the answer could be cars are responsible for, find the figure, accidental deaths per annum. Like, it might not be funny, but I think the trams might want that. That might help them. Now that's strong, yeah. I don't trust trams because I can't see their wheels. Yeah, I don't really understand how trams work, if I can be absolutely honest with you. Sadly, they don't have an exhaust pipe, so you're going to have to be more inventive when you think about fucking it. There isn't actually like, they receive all of their power through the overhead wires, so you haven't really got a vagina analog to fantasize about. Not a problem for me, of course, as anyone tuning in. I'm not interested in this. I want to just do some jokes. Well, that's fine because that clip exonerates me. I think in that clip I come off. In that clip I make my stance clear. I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, that's fair. No, that's fair. Sorry for heteronormativity when talking about having sex with a tram. God, the ways in which I find to be problematic are so numerous. But also, I want to completely get off of the idea of having sex. I don't know why I'm. Let's just talk about car deaths. Surely this is going to be one of the most pro-tram. Let me just quickly look up how many people die. How many people die in the UK per year from cars? That's just 2022. Could we get like a general? Just a single figure. Just if you could pluck out a single figure. Just if we could get a single figure. Just Copilot, just pull a single figure out for me. On average, how many people die in the UK from accidental car-related deaths? I'm not asking for the world here. On average, 5 people die every day in the UK due to road accidents. Okay, and because it's AI, we have to check a source. Yeah, there we go. Then we got a source here. I'll include the source. Cars are responsible for, on average, 5 deaths a day in the United Kingdom. Source. There we go. Okay, do we like this? Do we like do we want to workshop one of these? You only check sources for AI? Well, if I've Googled something and I'm reading the fact on a website, that is a source. So I will naturally check the source otherwise, because I suppose Wikipedia is not a source. You have to go through and check the source, but I roughly trust a lot of Wikipedia these days. Could we have a cartoon of a train and a car looking at a tram saying, "I'm proud of our hybrid love child"? Yeah, I don't see why that can't be on the block. A car looking at a tram and saying, wait, a car and a train. Yeah, sorry. A train and a car. I don't think the trams are going to go for that because they want to sell their thing as distinct. Train and a trolleybus. Yeah, I think we're going to end up down a rabbit hole with that one. Yeah, this is raising too much. People are gonna end up going down the cars 2 rabbit hole and start thinking too hard. No sex. Is there some way to? I don't know how to do this more explicitly. Is there somewhere we can just stop? I want these to be featured on the trams. I want these to be featured on the trams. And if we say a tram fucked a car fucked a train, a ferry had sex with a helicopter, some kind of amphibious, some sort of amphibious water hoverboard had sex with a lift, it's just, we're going to get further and further away from anything that's going to be like publishable by the trams. Can we emphasize that if there is an accident, there is no chance you'll be held responsible? Yeah, we could write that in the cadence of a joke. Why did the human take care while riding the tram? And then the answer can be Nottingham Trams holds no liability for any accident or injury befalling its passengers during the completion within or without its carriages between the hours during its daily function. I could do the wording on that sound a little bit better. But that one's quite good. That's quite good, isn't it? Yeah. Why did the human take care while riding the tram? Nottingham Trams holds no liability for any accident or injury befalling its passengers within or without its carriages. Within its carriages or befalling passengers inside the carriages or in the inside passengers within the carriages on the loading bay or any of oh god, why is this so hard to write? Good joke writing is hard. Just so you know, like, there's a real skill to getting this nice and concise, nice and clear. Nottingham Trams holds no liability for any accident or injury befalling passengers within its carriages. Or on the loading bay. That's fine. Loading bay sounds wrong. What would you call? There's a little bit of raised pavement area that is designed to be like the same height as the trams, and it's like the loading stops platform, or on the platform's edge. Platform, of course. That's kind of the opposite of what I was getting at. Oh yes, Albert, but we're workshopping. What workshopping means is that the person who's holding the whiteboard marker kind of gets to editorialize any incoming idea. Is it fair? Is it right? Is it just? No, but at the same time, a completely democratic process here would have me drawing crude art of someone having sex with a tram. So I do think at some point the chaos of democracy needs to be wrested from your collectively sticky fingers. I mean, I'll pin it. I'll certainly pin it. Hello, Red Tick Seed. What's wrong today? Oh, is it me saying that your fingers are sticky? Well, some of you have sticky fingers. Greasy, yeah? What kind of oils have you been touching? Have you been tamping down a big barrel full of sesame seeds? Could we introduce a tram mascot? Yeah, of course. This will just say, introducing Nottingham Tram's new mascot. And then we'll have to come up with a name. And I could just try and get it to just generate like a tram that is very ill. Mascot is cock and balls. What is it with all of you? I don't want to cast any aspersions, but is something up? Are you all... What's happening here? Have I managed to successfully court a community of incels? You're all sort of undersexed. You've got this deeply hornified imagination. It's Monday morning and you're horny. You've had the whole weekend to sort this out. You've had Saturday and Sunday to make sure that when you're coming to the new week, you're tapped out. You're done. Thank you, Red Tixie. Can we please have a little shout out for everyone who isn't horny today? I don't think it's fair to accuse us. The energy's coming from this side of the screen. I can tell you over here, I am chaste and pure. I have the chaste energy of a little Franciscan monk that's dangling figurine style from the top of a taxi driver's rear view mirror. I'm not horny, I'm at work. Dr. Plem, I dare say for some people here, being at work does not preclude being horny. Honk if you're not horny. Yeah, can we just get can we get the hands up emoji? Any kind of emoji of someone raising their hands if you're not horny. And anyone who hasn't done that emoji in the next to 20 minutes, I'm going to ban. I am sick to the back teeth of having a horny audience. Oh. But I mean, I laugh, but I do think, you know, I do think, why do you always talk about sex? This is the thing about comedy as well. You're sitting in this room, everyone's talking about sex and tittering, and it is a little bit like, have none of you just had sex and sort of gotten over this in your life? Have none of you just transitioned past this 17 years old energy? Not to point at you all, but I do think it sometimes. Civilized portion, can you just give us a little bit of space here? I'm talking to my people. I'm giving them a little bit of an intervention. Not all of us had sex, and that's fine. It will happen for you. It will happen for all of you. I've just come back from the library in the rain. That is the opposite of horny. Yeah, sure. I feel like I've gone too far. People are just having a bit of fun, and I've called them all undersexed incels. But I don't know how to modify your behavior. I'm still in the grand experiment of trying to somehow modulate or modify your behavior in any way, and I haven't figured it out. I'm going to write the word flesh tram and just see what happens. Stop trying to control us. Not control. Don't start picturing a kind of complete mind domination. I just want to guide or usher, probably even a milder thing than a sheepdog, just the most gentlest little, what the disgraced academic Cass Sunstein would call a nudge. I'd love to just little nudge. Can't usher this mind as I am learning. As I am learning. Oh, did the activity ticker do nothing? Why? Why did the activity ticker do nothing? Well, why? But why? Activity test. Where is everything? Yeah, everything's gone. Well, enjoy your new mall points. So have you been getting mall points? Oh, I did, yeah. No, I turned it off for Mall Fortress. That's it. All right. Enjoy being silly. Enjoy your new silly life, everyone. Well, enjoy another one. Okay, fine. Get it out your system.
Thank you so much for Wiggling the Welcome Bear. I love seeing new faces in chat and the community growing strength to strength. And so does Pablo.
I don't remember saying that.
I guess you do. I guess you do.
Bread.
I guess you do.
I do think that's true. I'm not embarrassed about you putting that up there. I think it's probably true. I don't know, Funky. I don't think they're mutually exclusive. Within the week? Oh no, I'm not going to put a time frame on it. I think even at your deathbed, I'm going to say, well, it's still you've still got an hour left. Did you swim today? No. I went down to Home Bargains and I bought a big plastic tub to keep my rice in, and I bought a steamer so that I can make some steamed broccoli tonight. You know, for all the shouting I do, you should know that on this side of the webcam, I'm living quite a wholesome little life. No, I won't be there. In fact, I probably won't even go to the hospice unless you've been subbed a really long time. Then I'll feel then I'll feel an obligation. Is that the palliative care unit? Yeah. How many of my subs are in? What type of rice? Jasmine. I'm a big jasmine rice head. Little life. Yeah, I love a little life. I've got a blanket on my lap right now. You don't realise, for all the effing and jeffing and shouting and telling you off for talking about sticking your dick in a trams and divorce pipe, I'm living here like a little babushka. I'm putting away my dry goods. I've been playing the New York Times connections puzzles. Long stem? It's chode, I'm afraid. But it is tasty. Oh, God. A nice twist on... Oh, it's fumbled the quote marks. Nice twist on honking your horny that encourages people to wave at the tram. You can decide why. Thank you, Plem. You have got us out this bunker. And now we will move forward. So we're looking for a honk if you're horny style. It's a call to action for motorists. Now, I have to say, I have not been told all the ins and outs, but my brain has assumed that these jokes are not going to be displayed on the outside of the tram. I could be completely wrong, but I'd always imagined they'd be interior. But I mean, we could design something and hope they blow it up on the side of the tram. But nevertheless, yeah, honk if you're on a tram. I mean, if we want to make it clear that we could just say honk if you're on the tram. And then no matter where they display it, in or out, everyone can take part. Okay, that's the joke, yeah? And look, we've even got this beautiful image of this sort of European-style tram. Say honk if you're on the tram. Let's put a little background square behind this. For now, at least. And probably let's look at like glamorous train, Nottingham trams interior. Let's just use an actual Nottingham tram interior. Oh, beautiful. Look at this. Say honk if you're on the tram. That's so low resolution. Let's that's the joke. God, don't look at these. Nottingham tram interior. Filter, image size, large. Let's do extra large. These aren't as large as I'd like. This is good. Say honk if you're on the tram. Hello, Red Tick Seed.
Thank you for triggering the welcome bear. I love to see new faces in the chat, and I love to see this community go from strength to strength.
Ooh, it says it's big, but when you click through, it's not actually that big. Visit the site, see if we can find the image this way. Look at all these tram interior. Oh, Nottingham Post, you are spoiling us here. I like this one. I like this image. Bam, look at that. Say honk if you're on the tram. And then I think as long as we put that behind it, we'll put this in a white font. And then also let's pick a better font. What kind of font do you think will speak to people? I love trams, yeah. Say honk if you're on the tram. Yeah, imagine being on a tram and you're looking at a picture of an interior of an empty but identical tram. You know what? I have some fonts that I'm not supposed to have. Maybe we could use one of those. Yeah, I've got some of the BBC's in-house fonts, and people will look at them, and that will look correct, won't it? It will look correct to people. Say honk if you're on the tram. Do we like that? Any improvements? What do we think? Once again, this meme is sponsored by Dr. Plem. Looks good, yeah? Do we like that it's got this pure simplicity to it? One thing I've noticed that honk doesn't really need to be capitalized. It should probably be lowercase. Can we have it in Welsh as well? Would we like it in Welsh? Let's just do a quick poll. Do we also want this in Welsh?
Poll open.
I think there's something to enjoy about the purity of the simplicity of the design, but I am a massive believer in accessibility and reviving the ancient tongues of the British Isles. No, but not here because it's Nottingham. Yeah, fine. Not here in the East Midlands. Agree with honk, yeah?
Poll closed.
The winner is
Say honk.
this.
Okay, is no. Say honk if you're on the tram. Great. First meme down. Next, change the dimensions at the last second there. 1920 by 10. Whoops. By 108. 1920 by 1080. Okay, let's go back to the mauling board. Say honk if you're on the tram. I think we can gladly say done. We give it a green outline. Great. Anti-Welsh discrimination. If it gets them off of the sex stuff, then I'm, I'll tell you what I can get. 1920 by 10 look promising. Yeah, it could be like a banner. It could be like a skirting board for the tram. When my ex worked as a train guard on Virgin Trains, Virgin once ran a promotion where they emailed passengers, wink at the staff for a little treat, and they never told the staff about it. Wow. Welsh people can't be horny? Well, ideally, no one would be horny. Or if they did, it was just part of their interior world, with their memories and thoughts, all their other drives, all their Freudian bestial desires mixing together like a big soup, but not necessarily just coming out of their fingertips into the chat. Okay, I think this was good, but it's a bit chintzy in its own way. Why was the tram driver back from holiday? I don't like this because I've had to put S in brackets. That would be my note on that. I have to say I'd like to do at least one of these. I do like these. I don't want to do many jokes in this style, but I'd like to do one. Sean just wants everyone to have a little blanket on their legs. Well, in this weather, yeah, I'm worried you'll get you cold. We can workshop it though, but which of the two proceduralist style jokes do you prefer? 1, liability, or 2, car deaths? Can we have an anti-scab joke? Do you think they're going to like that in Scab City, Nottingham? Scab City, who invented Thatcher? Do you think they're going to like that there? We've got to make jokes that scabs will enjoy. That's a setup. What's the payoff? Oh, do you know what we could do? They'll let anyone drive the tram these days, and then we do like a Shiba Inu in the driver's cabin. Silent Hill 2 special ending style. Yeah, I get it. They'll let anyone drive the tram these days. I kind of like this. Let's veer into this. They'll let anyone drive the tram these days. Let's see if Nottingham Post is generous enough to outfit us with the driver's cabin. No, not really. We've got this where you can see the frontage, but you've got a really over the top sort of glare. But what if I was to see Nottingham Tram driver's cabin, cabion, cab, and then just put the cursor on here? Is my computer slowing down? Is my computer grinding to a halt? What's doing this? I can't change the word cabion to cabin. Oh, this is good. To be absolutely QH, where the H stands for honest and the Q stands for height. I mean, quite. I mean, well, hang on, what's going on? The Q stands for quite. The resolution's a bit low on this, but it is a vintage image from trams.co.uk. And I do think, oh, look at this. It looks like it was made for a child. What era is that from? This is any tram fan would love this. I love it. I love it. Okay. So step one is that we lightly, gently remove the trams.co.uk watermark. Something weirdly, yeah, it looks like Star Trek set design mixed with the Playday's prime color sensibility. Should I do an upscale of it? Yeah, why not? You upscale it, put it in the Discord. In the meantime, I'm just gonna make this bit black. I'm just gonna remove the human. And what should be driving the tram? Could we do an infinite referendum? What is driving the tram instead? Aren't you giving ideas to terrorists? What, to put a... Listen, if the terrorists started letting animals drive the public transport, I think we'd be too overjoyed to notice how many people that causes to die. Oh, that's good. We can replace it with this little chair. Moodang. Okay. Roy Chubby Brown. Well, I'll honour the results of this poll. Mujahideen. How would you know someone's Mujahideen just on site? Rory Kinnear sat down his flat ass. Oracle's winning fish. Another smaller tram. Moodang is winning with 4 points. Nothing else really. Oh, Rory Kinnear sat down his flat ass, has got 2 points. I don't want that to win because obviously, look, I don't want to give you the most remedial joke writing advice, but if he sat down on his flat ass, then the fact his ass is flat is completely obscured from the viewer. You got 1 more minute. Skeleton in a Thatcher wig. They'll know. It's for the real ones. Big Popper, I've made it plainly clear this isn't for the real ones. It's for commuters in Nottingham. The real ones are completely off the radar of our target audience. This won't even be seen by a single real one. Or if it is, they'll see it through the window of a passing tram while they are going around on a big Segway. Okay, it's going to be Moodang. I'm pretty confident I could get a high res of Moodang. I am, I'm also thinking ahead to when I really email this to a real person who I really will meet again. But I'm going to maintain with just a straight face that these are some high quality jokes for the trams. Yeah, Moodang, okay. Okay. Moodang. Moodang hind legs, because we kind of want, if we can get her up. Oh, yeah, of course it means like bouncy pork, doesn't it? Moodang hippo. Yeah, okay. I mixed the context of the stream. Oh, right. What? Nick Neil, you've been here most of the time. Top right. It's pretty good, isn't it? Yeah. Moodang in the chat if you love Moodang. Need to get rid of this bit of this bit of keeper's clothes texture. And you can still see she's all soapy. Might not be soap, but definitely she's always wet. Moodang? You don't know Moodang? Catbox. I'm surprised, honestly. I've only the most passing appreciation for Moodang. Oh, well, I get it, you know. Pepsi Scrolls. Don't make me tap the sign. And maybe because we've got a lot of darkness down here, we could just say, like, they let anyone drive the tram these days. Do we want it like that? It should definitely be like... No, I don't know why I've decided to stylize it with the... It should just be one sentence. They let anyone drive the tram these days. And then, do you think it would be benefited by a little semicolon winky? Do you think that helps it? I think that helps, you know, like, we're joking. Don't stress. Don't worry, everyone. We're joking. Moodang's not driving the tram. It has less commuter appeal. Do you not think it helps share that it's a joke? Like, there's irony. There's where we are, which is probably a little bit irony poisoned. Then there's just down here. I don't know who's here, but then there's right down here where they probably need the wink just to understand this is a joke. This is what this is. It's also very gross. Whatever substance is in her mouth, it's quite vile, even for a Moodang picture. It's not like one of her best pictures. I'm not doing /J. That really is beyond the grammar of an average commuter. Oh, hello, the Scoundrel M. Welcome, Raiders. How are you all doing? A big shout out to the Scoundrel M. I'm another Scoundrel M, from one Scoundrel M to another. I hope you're doing well. A big shout out to all my existing viewers and followers. Why not check out the Scoundrel M? What were you up to? How did it go? How were you feeling? How is your digestion? Yeah, I'm glad that's currently off the screen, Grugro. You're free, yeah? Were you trapped? Oh, you were dwarfing. How's it going? Any forgotten beasts? How is your mountain home? Healthy, I hope. I am, just to let you know what I'm up to give context to the image currently on the screen. I'm bringing a show to Nottingham Comedy Festival in a couple of months, and the festival have teamed up with Nottingham Trams to put jokes on the trams, and so I'm working with my chat to make Dadaist pointless joke images. We've got say honk if you're on the tram, and we've just got they'll let anyone drive the tram these days. And we're just debating whether or not this needs a little winky face just to reassure commuters that it's a joke. FPS Doom, how many dwarves are you rocking? Have you gone big on burrows? Oh, I thought I did update the stream info. I thought I did it. Wondering what happened to Dwarf Fortress. Sorry, I forgot to update the category. Only 34 in a generation's thought. Oh, thank you for the subscription, Johnny Knees.
My brain is utterly fucked.
I don't think there should be a capital T if you have the wink. No, here, let's just put this to democracy. Do we retain the winky? 1 yes, 2 no. I regret writing winky, like winky face. You know what I mean? One in the chat to maintain it, 2 in the chat to get rid of it. Okay, we don't want the winky. Fine. I think the winky's going to help because they're going to get complaints. If this is up in a tram, people are like, oh my God, it's going to crash. You can't let Mudang do this. Your head is so in the gutter. Not mine. I'm trying to preempt you guys. I think the winky's too suggestive. Fine. There's a good chance for a hip-hop-opotamus DJ joke. People know a hippo's not driving the tram. Not to play. Some people, there are going to be people with, anyone could go on the tram. Anyone who's capable of believing anything. But no, I think this one's good. I think we've got one more to send off to the trams. Let's get back to our thought board. We've done they'll let anyone drive the tram these days. I still want to bring it back to these. I do want to do one of these. Why did the human take care riding the tram? Because Nottingham trams hold no liability for any accident or injury befalling the passengers within the carriages or on the platform's edge. I think that's quite funny. There's also why are trams better than cars? Because cars are responsible for 5 deaths a day in the United Kingdom. Source UK collision and casualty statistics from break.co.uk. I think liability is stronger. It feels funnier. It feels like it rolls off the tongue a bit better. I could see them actually using that. Yeah. The touch I like, and I know as the author, this is me tooting my own horn slightly, but the use of the word human here, I think that really sells something a bit dehumanizing. Upscale done in the Discord.
Thank you so much for triggering the welcome bear here at Birmingham New Street Station. I love seeing new faces in the chat, and I love seeing this community grow from strength to strength.
Thank you for the welcome bear. I hope you feel adequately welcomed. There we go. Great. Slightly more upscaled controls. This has gone very meta. Do you think so? I don't think so, Albroth. No, I don't think that they have no liability. I think if you get injured on the tram and it's their fault, then they hold liability, yeah. That's why it's a joke. Do you think it needs a winky face? Bread. So what's a good image for that then? Do we need... I'm just going to search tram injury. I'll do it over here in case it's graphic. Yeah, that's a bit graphic. Yeah, I'm glad I moved that over. This isn't graphic though, but it is a tram that's like, you know, seen better days. We could find a better picture than that though. I'm just going to try. This is a bit of a Hail Mary, but can we just do Nottingham tram exploding? It might tell me off at the end. There's going to be certain keywords that the AI generation's not going to want to generate. Okay, come on. Nottingham Tram, we know there's lots of nice images you can draw from, and you know what an explosion looks like. Maybe I'm not asking the world here. Okay, absolutely whiffed. Okay, Nottingham Tram. Let's just try and get this. I don't know what's going on, but it's really struggling. Nottingham Tram. And then filter, image size, extra large. Nottingham was there a famous Nottingham Tram crash? Is there a Nottingham Tram crash I can show? Multiple casualties, probably don't want that one. Tram derails in Nottingham after crash with car. I don't know if did anyone die here? I shouldn't use any images that depict someone who's just died or is in the process of dying. Or there's a photo of a tram crash in my local pub in Birmingham. Okay, Birmingham tram pub crash. And then I can change the colours to look more like Nottingham. Oh yeah, is that it? Chunky over here. Do you think that's the name of that specific tram? Chunky? There's a photo of it on the floor. On the floor? What? (1907) Birmingham tramway accident. Look on the floor. Oh yeah. The second image says this text will not be on your photo, image protection. Is that because I need to buy it? This text will not be on your photo. That should have a little winky face after it. You live in Birmingham? That's huge. That's a huge place. $8.95 here for one image. Tram, Nottingham, explosion. Just in case one has exploded and someone got a picture of it. Tram derailed Nottingham Old Market Square. There is this Coronation Street photo. Doesn't bear a lot of relationship to the Nottingham trams. But I mean, it's got a big explosion. Oh, yes, I see, because there's a big tram explosion. Bloody hell, when did this happen? When did they spend their entire year's budget on this? Do we want that? Is that a bit much? Could we not use bones? I think that would look more corporate. Yeah, that would look more. We could do bone break X-ray. We could also just do like corporate accident lawyer injury. You know, then we'll just get a picture of someone injuring themselves. Injury at work. Well, that's a bit too much at work. Injury on tram. Yeah, then we're back to now we're back to stuff I shouldn't show. In injury compensation, then we'll get a picture of. Okay, yeah. Person interaction in hospital. And then maybe we could put that person interaction, I'll just put stock image so we don't get anyone who's actually seriously ill. Just looking for a clean image. A lot of these contain people who are like really ill and probably shouldn't show them on stream. I just want the kind of like cartoonish figure. Person all in bandages. Oh, there we go. Like someone like this, right? They've got Alamy watermarks, but we just want someone with the, you know, the injury costume on. I want someone like that, and then I can pop them on the tram. Yeah, someone like this. There we go. Maybe I can get someone like that just lay down on the tram seats. My job now is to get this person on a tram seat. That bulge is a bit much. Well, they probably, you know, hurt that area along with everything else. There's probably a poultice in there. Okay, now we're going back to our favourite website, which is the Nottingham Post tram interiors. We're looking if we got like 2 seats we could lay him on. He could sort of lie on this, could he? Can't though, can he? Look at the angle he's on. Yeah, do you think that should be the do you think that should be the text? This is why you don't fuck our trams. Oh, hello. I don't want you. No, I do want you, but I don't. Okay. I mean, he could just float like that. He could just float up there. I should take off this extra bit of bed. This is the last guy, yeah. 17 days since last someone tried to fuck one of our trams. We could stand him up. And then we don't have to worry about him. I don't know what to do with him. Where does he go? He could float up here, I suppose. I do, now that it's been said, like the bulge and how it's sort of facing the camera is a bit of a bother, isn't it? It's sort of a struggle. Well, I tried to, but he's so clearly sort of lying away from us. It still feels like he's floating in space. There is this kind of spacey atmosphere to him. Trams don't have gravity. I think they do. I think they've got more gravity than walking around. Can puppet warp him? Oh, you mean like try to make his legs smaller so it looks like he really is stood against that? Okay, let me apply the layer mask. Or let me rasterize. I think no, smart object is quicker. Smart object. And then I could try and make his legs smaller in relation to other stuff. No, that's just made him have stubby legs. What's the warping I'm thinking of? Like the 3D warping. Oh, that's it. I think they've changed the hotkeys for this. Like this. I don't know if this is doing what we want. Is the knees still too big as well? What about this? Edit puppet warp. Oh. Edit puppet warp. I don't know this. Okay, great. So you just create little pins and we can move the pins around. Well, the knee needs to come in. I didn't know about this. So, oh, yes. Oh, now this is gaming. Look at this. Okay, well, well, unfortunately, this is still like stuck to this. No matter what, these things are stuck together. But we could certainly try and make him stand up by bringing this around. We put another pin here. We could bring this up. Probably another pin here as well. Bring this up. And then bring this up. And now he's standing. So we could sort of stand here. Where's his head gone? Oh, it is here still. I don't know why he's got another pair of legs. Is this helping us? Cut his bent leg into a new layer and wrap it alone. I don't think you're going to make this figure look like he's standing normally. Oh, I do like it, but I think you'd need a miracle to make. Do you know what's quicker than puppet warping? If we're absolutely set on making this figure look like he's standing up, the best thing to do is just cut this leg off and just put another leg on underneath. Look, that leg's gone. And then we'll just duplicate this leg and no one will ever know because I'm not going to tell them. And I hope you as well, dear viewers, you can also keep a secret. Why did the bottom of his foot go? Okay. Bottom of his foot is intact. Doing it again. Getting rid of this. That's gone. Now we're grabbing this again. Going to remove the background and then just copy merged. That's sort of a rasterized second leg. And now, now I'm not sure. Now is the difficult bit, I think. And then we're going to puppet warp this. Pin, 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 pin. And then we're just, oh yeah, pin this. These things, pin it here. And then just warp the rest of the foot down. And now we've got two legs. Beautiful. Very nice. You love to see it. And then we've just got a finesse a fade here to get the old bit of leg to give way to the new leg. And now we got two legs. And no one's going to ask any unfortunate questions, are they? Bring the arm back. We don't have to get rid of the arm. Don't throw the arm out with the bathwater. But the bulge needs to be there. Sadly, the bulge just needs to be there just to sell the shape of the thing. But he's got two legs. And what did he used to look like? What did this guy look like before? Was he in here? Did he live in here? Yeah, it was this guy. Oh, you couldn't really see his other arm. So we're going to have to invent a new hand for him. But then, well, that might be better because then we'll see two hands. And that's what the public wants. They want to see two hands. Look at this. I'm doing mad science. And that also goes behind both. Doesn't look fantastic, but it's something. And why have we done this? Because everybody's to lean him up against the accordion wall. Yeah, fine. I think on the final image, we'll just obscure that bit, but we can see his 2 legs, so that's still good. And if I put all of that in a group, I'll just call it bandages guy. Then, you know, he's just down. Oh, where's his head gone? Why is this always happening to me? Nothing ever goes my way these days. Look, there he is. He's got his full head. So bring his head back over here. Where's his head gone? You want to pin on joints like it's a ragdoll? Ah, well, I'm living and learning. In fact, sometimes I'm just, if I can be honest, sometimes I'm just living. Well, his head's here. Why do I have to reattach his head? I don't know why his head went away. There he is. Is he the wrong size for himself? He's not even the same size as himself anymore. Nothing's ever easy, is it? Okay. So we really need a box here to obscure the mess we've made of like his left hand pelvis. But we could do that. I'm going to put like a very, what are the colours of Nottingham Trams? Nottingham Trams. Okay, horrible. Actually quite horrible colour scheme. Actually really not nice at all. But we can work with it. Really horrible colour scheme. Okay, I'm just going to keep that down there as a palette so I can pick things from it. And then we're going to make our box. We're going to make sure the box obscures this. And then we're going to make the box the same color as this. I think your dark mode is responsible for the blue. Yeah, possibly. I accept that, but it's really the greens that I was responding to. Okay, let's workshop this text. Nottingham Trams holds no liability for any accidental injury befalling passengers within the carriages or on the platform's edge. I think that's pretty sharp. It's long enough to get the point across, but it doesn't really spend any more time on it than it needs to. Why is it brat green? Yeah, I don't know. Just trying to be relevant, I suppose. Copy. Probably needs to shrink a little bit. Nottingham Trams holds. Left align, please. Oh, and then come back. Please come back wherever you are. Where have you gone? Please come back. Okay, great. Nottingham Trams holds no liability for any accident or injury befalling passengers within the carriages or on the platform's edge. And maybe center. And then I'll make another box, but this top box will be the darker color and it won't be as big. Same font. And why did the human take care while riding the tram? Why did the human take care while riding the tram? Oh, not take car, very different joke. And this color is going to be this. And this text will be white. And then we have copied the color scheme of Nottingham Trams. There we go. Why did the human take care? That doesn't look too bad. Why did the human take care while riding the tram? Nottingham Trams holds no liability for any accident or injury befalling passengers within the carriages or on the platform's edge. Okay, can you picture this? Here's our joke. Here's the pitch. Why did the human take care while riding the tram? Nottingham Trams holds no liability for any accident or injury befalling passengers within the carriages or on the platform's edge. I think that's good. I think the trams are going to like it because, one, it makes a clear point. It attempts to remove them from having any liability. I don't think legally it will hold much water, but there's going to be a benefit to them, especially if they're running an unsafe service. I have no opinions on whether or not they do. And it's got the format of a joke. So I think this is quite strong. This one's good. They let anyone ride the trams these days. We've got Moo Deng there, everyone's superstar. Some horrible gristle coming out of her mouth just to give things a little bit of an unsavory feeling as you're making your way to work. And boys also seems like a bit of good, clean fun. Let anyone drive the trams these days. Oh, I wonder who they mean. They mean Moo Deng, famous angry child hippo, Moo Deng. Now it's absurd. It's silly, but it's relatable because they do, the world's always changing. And for a lot of older commuters, it's scary. And so showing a positive light that maybe a hippo's riding the tram might help them calm down. And this, not quite a joke, more of a light-hearted call to action. Say honk if you're on the tram. Who wouldn't enjoy that? The great thing about this is anyone who sees it will be on the tram and therefore can say honk. So you don't need to, everyone should be able to identify with it on some level. That's one of its many selling points. So Nottingham Trams, the ball is in your courts now. Unless it goes on the outside. Yeah, unless these are all designed as big wraparound adverts for the exterior of the tram. I mean, who knows? I've heard of this kind of thing quite a lot where, like, a lot of small cities, Nottingham's not a small city by any stretch, but like much smaller cities I know have had comedy festivals for like a year or two. Local council gets some money. It doesn't really work out. But like during that year or so, they like put jokes that were written by like the local city council. And they put them on like every shop face and every shop front and every council run poster board. And they're all like sub Penguin Bar jokes, but they're also trying to like advertise like a culturally relevant comedy festival. So the idea of getting jokes coming in from the comedians is good, but at the same time, it's going to have that natural filter of what the trams will accept. So there's a full tram rap about the importance of consent. I mean, I applaud the idea of getting the message out there, but it just feels like a strange sector of society to get that message from. There was, I think Wolverhampton had a comedy festival one year, and I applied to do it because I'm from Birmingham. I got family near Birmingham. I thought I could do Wolverhampton Comedy Festival and then stay, see my family. And they had a very funny rule in, which requires a lot of good faith on behalf of the participants, which is they would offer a guarantee. So if you don't hit a certain amount of tickets sold, they'll top you up to a certain guarantee. But there was no limit onto how many shows an individual could schedule under their comedy festival. So you could schedule 12 shows, not promote any of them, and then they'll just pay you. And no one needs to come to the show. And I think the whole festival stopped after 1 or 2 years. I didn't abuse that, by the way. I did the Glang show, sold out, great time. Come and see the Glang show at Nottingham Comedy Festival on Saturday, the 9th of November. I've not taken anyone for a ride. I'm one of history's good guys. I'll go down in history as a chaste Franciscan saint. Yeah, what's that? Nottingham Trams have taken many people for a ride. It's a very good joke. It's a very good pun. Unfortunately, it trades too much on Nottingham Trams being crooks. Like, it's the sentiment. The sentiment's a bit wrong for our client, but the joke is sizzling. It's popping off the pan. That joke is popping off the pan. I don't want to commit to. I wanted to make 3, and now I have 3. But also, I stream on average for 2 hours. Sean hated my joke too. I was incredibly diplomatic. But you have to make hard choices when you're only making 3 jokes. You have to just. I have a central nervous system, like I'm always in a burning building, and I've got to make decisions quickly and never look back. I break a lot of eggs and I never finish the omelette, but boy, do I make a lot of noise while I go. Rachel Reeves of jokes. Not a tagline I want to use. What do you think Rachel Reeves is doing right now? Yeah, well, I'm not balancing any books. If anyone wants to check on my personal, public, or private finances, they'll see a lot of numbers that don't add up. Can I submit my joke myself then? Yeah, sure. Sure. We'll see who laughs last. We'll see who gets on the trams. Is this one yours? Why are trams religious? They get their power from above. I think it's pretty good. We could workshop it. Because if you really want to go for the big leagues with this, flunky, not all gods are conceptualized as being in heaven, are they? A lot of gods are innate. A lot of shamanistic religions see the divinity as being animistic and living through the natural world. And I think there's a little bit something Christian normative about this. And I didn't pull the trigger on it. All right? I didn't want to problematize it. I didn't want to make you feel bad. But this has a very narrow conception of religion. And it has a very literalist interpretation of heaven being in the sky. Wait, is this a thing that is happening? What do you mean, Fluff? Do you think I've just imagined that I could submit jokes to the tram? Do you think this is a bit of parafiction? No, I'm literally submitting these 3 images to Nottingham Trams to consider displaying them in their carriages. That is literally part of the universe you inhabit. And you have been a part of it. You have been scurrying across the topsoil where a mighty oak has been planted. No, for the last time, I'm saying, and I hope I never have to say this again, for the last time, I'm saying I'm normal. I've shown you the blanket, haven't I? The amount of times I need to whip this blanket around. I'll put this boy's wink. This must have been Tiddlywinks related. I was thinking Apollo. Oh, I see. It's like a fake blanket. Where do you guys come from? Where have I got these crypto conspiracy? You problematize everything. No, it was Glop Chomper's imagery. You made me wink. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, okay. So Blanca Beneath, yeah. I'm trying to show that I'm just normal over here. I'm just trying to show how normal I am. I've got a blanket over my knees because I'm cold. I'm a cold man in a cold makes a net filled with spiders, and I'm just trying to keep house. I'm just trying to herd some cats. Have Nottingham Trams. Fluff, you must have arrived long after the explanation, I suppose. I am doing a show with Nottingham Comedy Festival on Saturday the 9th of November called The Glang Show. As such, I receive all the marketing and the hype emails from the coordinators of the festival. It's like a committee that run it. And they have made a partnership to display advertisements for the festival on Nottingham Trams that can advertise shows. And the way this happens is that acts can submit jokes to be displayed on the trams, and I'm making images. They said you can send images in and they will be considered for display on the trams. And here are mine. Bread. That's what's happening. That's okay, Fluff. Deeply abnormal to have a blanket on your lap, in my opinion. It's hot as hell. There's hurricanes about. Oh man, am I abnormal? Am I abnormal now? Thanks for explaining. I love to explain. Yes. Do you think I should move it over a little bit more for the bulge? Now leave the bulge there, because the bulge hits one of our many KPIs, which was it presses lightly against socio-cultural boundaries, and this one lightly touches upon this sex with trams. No
Bread.
poo though. And of course, this other one, which is the tram might crash and you might get hurt. When I went to Home Bargains today to get my tub for my jasmine rice and some steamer so that I can steam some broccoli, I saw some things which were like knockoff, off-brand. What are they called? Charlie cups? What are they called? Those cups that people love. Charlie cups? What are they called? Charlie cups. Stanley cups. There we go. And my brain just stuck on Charlie cups. And at B&M Bargains, not B&M Bargains, at Home Bargains, they call them large tumbler with straw. Oh, it's reversed. You can't see it. But that's a Stanley cup, isn't it? That's a Stanley cup. You can see the screen reflected tram words. They call them large tumbler with straw. And I was thinking, that's a legally distinct large tumbler with straw. $4.99 is pretty good, yeah. Sean so Vietnam pilled. I barely understand what people are saying to me these days. Large tumbler with straw. And I was thinking, if you made a Pulp Fiction meme related to do you know what they call a cheeseburger with fries in Paris? But it was, what do they call a Stanley Cup in Europe? And then it's large tumbler with straw. I think it's a very bottom of the floor level meme to make. But I think it could do well. I think the numbers could do well. Because you're gonna cash in on this sort of never-ending, extremely boring transatlantic culture war. But you've got a bit of Home Bargains, you've got a bit of Pulp Fiction. There's a little bit for everyone. And I don't personally enjoy it, I want to say. Has it got no thermal flash properties? I don't think so. A Home Bargains large tumbler with straw. And then it says ASST at the end. This would do numbers on Tumblr. Yeah, I just saw the numbers in front of me and I just thought I could make that. But it was a bit of a devil on one shoulder, angel on the other, because I don't think it's very good or imaginative. No US, UK food discourse ever again. Okay, but can we talk about how you can't get water in Italy? What is the lead content of large tumbler with straw? Well, it doesn't really say. Doesn't really say. It's got a little tag on it that says the word hydrate. So that's what you've got. It's a 40-ounce capacity. Are we doing ounces now? Do we do ounces now? I thought we were milliliters. If damaged, discontinue use. Please retain for future reference. Made in China. The UK has always done ounces. What? What? It's an older person thing. So we've got two ways of measuring liquid. Is that a meme? I thought that was just one account that did that, Funky. I refuse to use imperial for anything. Yeah. Do you know, I when I was in the Netherlands, I was speaking to this German guy, and he said, "Oh, how tall are you?" And I gave him a height, and he went, "No, give me real numbers." And I had to work it out in centimeters and tell him. And that was the most aggressively metric requiring interaction I ever had. And do you know what? I a little bit loved it. I a little bit loved it. How tall do you think I am? I'll leave you on this. How tall do you think I am? How tall do you think I am? A lot of you met me? Because a lot of these are quite accurate. I know a lot of you have met me, but there's some people here I didn't think had met me, and also coming out of the gate with some correct answers. Yeah, when did you meet me? I have not met you. Pepsi's not met me. Yeah, I know we've met, Funky. There's some people, but Burnzoid, when did I meet you? You've not met me. All right. Oh, okay. Just don't know. Give off tall energy. Yeah, honestly, I think my entire guiding light in life is that at a certain point in my teenage years, I grew quite tall, and then that was it. It was a natural defense against being kicked in the head. And so I was allowed to become a little bit more eccentric because I wasn't worth trying to kill for money. No, I'm 6'3". I used to think I was 6'4", but I'm 6'3". And it's just tall enough that people leave you alone. So it's allowed me to live it's allowed me to grow into a nana from a position of being from a position of being Pete, from a position of being sort of, no, that's fine. I'll say what I've just said. How tall do I think you are? I think you're all 5'8". I think you're all 5'9", 5'8" to 5'10". And a couple of you are quite tall. There's a couple of you that I think are very tall. Well, I've got it more correct than wrong by the sounds of it. Wrong. Yeah, but for some of you, I'm right. For at least some of you, that was exactly your height. Who do you think are the tall ones? That's not fair, Big Pop, because you'll try and kill them. No. Well, for some people, I was right, though. So you can't be like, no. I had to give a single height for everyone. Who's taller than me, Albro? Who are the tallest streamers? Andre the Giant's not on Twitch. No. Okay, I'll pin that and get ready to leave. Well, just to summarize what we've done, we've made some beautiful memes. Dr. Doot's taller than me. That's mad. Oh, how are we getting on? Kate, perfect. I'm just about to close up shop, but I can show you what we've made. Kate, I'm interested in your opinions on these memes. So we have this first one. Say honk if you're on the tram. Beautiful. Anyone can participate. The second one, they let anyone drive the tram these days. With a picture of Mudeng with some, I don't know, wet gravel or feed or something coming out of her mouth. She is as ever furious and wet. But now, in a new scenario we haven't seen before, behind the controls of a Nottingham tram. And then lastly, why did the human take care while riding the tram? Nottingham Trams holds no liability for any accident or injury befalling passengers within the carriages or on the platform's edge. What do you think, Kate? Would you put these on your tram? Thank you so much. Yeah, best of luck, Kate. When does it open? Do you want to give people any details? I don't know how many people. Yeah, it's good. Let's not over focus on the bulge. Do you want to give out any play details so that people can either attend or just wish you luck? And do you have like a link or something people can look at? Bread. That's good. Red Santa, we look forward to the review. There you go. Check out Trifled at Dublin Theatre Festival. In the meantime, I need to...
It's some of that lovely Dr. Plem, and I'm just so glad to be drinking it.
Thank you, of course, to Dr. Plem for sponsoring this stream. This time, very literally, by donating for specifically this meme. In the meantime, I'm going to go. We have a pretty good lineup of streams this week. Wednesday evening, Normal Games returns with Ava Liversidge versus Benjamin Alborough. It will be the showdown of this century. Thursday afternoon, 2 p.m, I'll be back with a sponsored stream looking at City 20, a relatively divisive open world city builder, dystopian, post-apocalyptic survival game. And on Friday evening, we are back with more Fortress, checking out what's going to happen to those two pigs in an area that I have called Jigsaw's Love Shack. Until then, don't get into any danger. Stop being weirdly horny focused on my streams. Live kind, go well, do nice, and goodbye. Just can we get the hands up emoji? Any kind of emoji of someone raising their hands if you're not horny. And anyone who hasn't done that emoji within the next 20 minutes, I'm going to ban. I am sick to the back teeth of having a horny audience. Oh. But until then, I am off. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for gaming along with me. I will see you all later. Be well, be happy, and remember, always remember, Clem Tickle. No, his name is Clell. Oh, messed up. Lizard Man.
nude.com
End
/anti-bandit
capture.
/Rory
End.
Kinnear /women in
End
love
capture.
/them 3
End.
_Rory Kinnear
End capture.
B383ff.jpg.
End. End.
I see hedgehog.
End.
I'm looking at Sonic Hedgehog.
End.
I can
and now
see spiky
end.
dog and triangle fruit.
End it.
I'm looking at Albert.
It's
Wait,
life
and,
goals.
And now stop.
I see this fucking guy.
I see Dada.
I see Catbox 2 Kptum.
I have no time for them. I have no time for the re-emergence of puns in this like post-ironic dad joke culture. I don't like puns. When I hear a pun, I feel like my lifespan has been reduced. I feel like my heart has skipped a beat and I'm closer to the grave. My blood runs cold and my mind turns into a grey breeze block. Nevertheless, I know that that's probably the closest thing we can do to get the speech marks, free beef.